Good afternoon, everybody. Row, 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 row. Say hello. Say hello. There's Hawkeye. Hawkeye, Henry, and me, Rich, recovering softball grandpa, recovering from life. Today is Monday, May 11th. Uh, in the garage, my dogs just got home. Uh, one of the things I have some sayings I will say when somebody asks me, uh, hey, Rich, how you doing? And one of my standard responses is better than most, not as good as some, because to me that's a really true statement. Uh, Better than most, which I think I am, because that's just how I feel, but not as good as some. And maybe that's because of what are you trying? Hey, come here. What are you barking at? Henry's. What are you looking at? But anyway, getting back to the point at hand, um, physically fit, emotionally fit, um, spiritually fit. Uh, you know, since I've been clean and sober, I made a lot of progress. Physical because I've had a lot of surgeries. Mentally, yeah, I think so. I'm not as nuts as I used to be. But I can't refuse. I have to grow up. You know, have emotional wellness too and spiritual wellness. The spiritual one is easier for me. The emotional one, not so much, because I got hurt feelings. I did get hurt feelings. Maybe I'm too sensitive. You know, Henry knows when I'm sensitive. Henry knows when I'm sad. Or like, well, yesterday the Giants won, and I yelled and I was clapping, and it scared Henry. You know, but Henry, come here. He's laying under the desk. Maybe we want to see him. See, there he is. There's Hawkeye over there. Hawkeye's bringing the ball. Yep. But anyway, uh-oh. I don't know what I did. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's going to be at an angle. But anyway, getting back to the point at hand, I heard something about a friend of mine today, and it kind of made me sad. And but I was in his shoes at one point, and I don't have to do that no more. Pretty good, huh? I guess that's probably sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if you work for them, and that's the key. There's a little bit of work involved. You know, um, Number one, identification. Identifying, in me, what triggers me. What are my triggers? Um, Stupidity is one of them. Um, I don't deal well with stupidity too well, or ignorance, or or egotistical. If somebody has a big ego, I used to have a big ego, but not no more. I don't think so, because ego, edging God out. You can't have an ego, because you don't want to do that unless unless you don't have no spiritual values and don't believe in a higher power or anything like that. You have to have, well, hopefully, well, I have a higher power. I call him God, and I'm a recovering Catholic, and probably not a very good Catholic either. Uh, Hopefully, I'll be on the right side of God when the judgment time comes. There you go. Before I got married to the wife that I had 4 kids with, we got married in the Catholic Church, and it made my mom so happy. I was the first kid to be married inside the Catholic Church. We were married at the church that I was baptized, and I went to school, 8 years of school, St. Luke's in Temple City, and we went through the you had to go to these like seminars or the retreat or something like engaged encounters, retreat, and then we both went to confession before we got married, and She was starting to worry a little bit because on a Saturday it wasn't at St. Luke's, it was at another church up the road, and she was worried because I was in there a long time, and it's been a long time since I've been to confession, you know, you know. But I'll tell you something. When I went to that confession, the only other time I really felt that way was after I did my fourth and fifth step with my sponsor. When I shared my fourth step with my sponsor, you know, because when I got up after sharing my fifth step with him, I felt 20 pounds lighter, maybe more, maybe 40 pounds, because I just got rid of all the shit that I've been carrying for all these years, you know, and it gets pretty heavy, you know. And one of the things too, let me grab a bucket. Here. So my sponsor, Ed Kursky, God bless his soul, he says, when I was born, well, when everybody was born, God gives you a bucket. You know, there's nothing in it. But as we go through life, you know, we start putting a bunch of shit in there, rocks. You know, and there's a light at the bottom of the bucket. But as we go through life and we keep putting stuff, and Hawk, I think somebody's knocking on the door. As we go through, we put stuff in the bucket, and now pretty soon you can't see the light. You know, so when we do our inventory, or I did my inventory, you got rid of all the stuff in the bucket. You know, but he warned me. He says, okay, now be careful. You know, you got rid of all the big stuff. You know, now the little stuff's going to come up. You know, so, and he was right, because, you know, stuff that it's buried so deep, you know, that maybe you don't know. It's buried so deep that as after I did my fourth and fifth step, stuff that I totally forgot about did come up, and I took care of it, you know, and I shared, you know, and just so everybody knows, the first time I got clean and sober was back in '87. I went through rehab, Los Encinas, and that was just like a vacation, and it didn't work. And the first time I read a portion of chapter 5, how it works, I said, "There's no way in hell I'm doing this." I fought the program from day one. So between '87 and '91, I got sober 3 times. '91 was my sobriety date, September 27th, 1991. And it's still a work in progress, you know. I will never be recovered, you know, because I'm still recovering, you know. And maybe one of these days I won't say, you know. Do something for somebody else for fun and for free because you want to, with no expectation in return. And you will see the light in the bucket that you're carrying. Get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of it. All right, thanks, everybody. Love you all. Talk to you soon.